All right, now as we're evaluating functions, I kind of put a little note up here that says, remember, evaluate means to plug it in. And I should have put means to plug it in using what? Parentheses. And to spell parentheses, you spell it parent, and then he sees. Okay? So using parentheses, we're going to plug it in. Now, with a function, this is maybe the first time you might have seen this, all we're doing is we're taking the value -3, and we're going to plug it in for x to find out what the answer is. And so the way we do that is we say, find the function f evaluated at -3. That's what that means. That doesn't mean f times -3. It just means when you use the number -3 and you plug it into the function f, maybe this is the Frank function, we name it something, then the question is, what are we going to get as a result? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our value, x, and replace it with the parentheses. And I stick in what number in that parentheses? -3. So 11 times -3 is -33 minus 1. So our answer is -34. So when we plug in the value -3 into the function f, we get an answer of -34. Effectively, guys, what this is a point. All right? It's a point. You plug in -3, you get out -34. So by saying f of -3, this is really saying that's the y value. What's inside is the x value. Okay, a little different one. This function is called 2x plus 4. It's a different function. It says do a different thing. Now it says we plug in the number 10 into our parentheses. Well, what is the answer there? Really simple, isn't it? 2 times 10 is 20 plus 4, 24. So when we plug in 10, we get out 24. Some functions will use the letter f. Felipe, they might use the letter g. They might have a function and call it h. The first letter doesn't matter. It's what's going into it is what you're talking about. So a function is just plugging the numbers that they give you into something and finding out the answers. Could they give you multiple things to plug in? Yeah, very possibly. All right? Once again, just a little review. The numbers we're plugging in are called the domain. The numbers we're getting out are called the range. Just a little review there. So if you want to put a little reminder to yourself, the first number is called the domain. The second number is called the range. Make notes to yourself. That way you won't forget later. So we go to the bottom. I have given you 3 numbers that I would like you to plug in. So if I give you 3 numbers to plug in, what are you going to give back to me? Yeah, 3 numbers outputting. I give you 3 inputs, you give me 3 outputs. Now, is it possible that they might have the same output? Possible. Maybe, but in this case, it's pretty unlikely. So let's find the first one. 3, and you're plugging in a -2. So what do we get here? What's 3 times -2? -6. So what's my output? How much? -4. All right? Next one. 3 times 0. That's 0 plus 2. My output is 2. And my final one, 3 times 5. That's 15 plus 2. My output is 17. So if that's my domain, what is my range? What numbers do I put in for my answer? -4, 2, and 17. So here's your inputs. Here's your outputs. Here's your abscissa. This is your what? Ordinate. These are your x's. These are your y's. So a lot of different words that associate with this. for abscissa, ordinate, all those kind of things. Now, at your request, remember from last chapter, I put this down here now, so as a reminder. So there's your practice quiz as we're looking through our stuff tonight. So you got vertical line test, mapping, telling if something's a function or not, and then plugging numbers in to get outputs, the kind of the four pieces that we have of functions and relations.